Hi, I'm Doug.
And Daniel.
From Dynamic Computing, and welcome to episode 95 of 10 Minute Amiga Retro Cast. Now, this week we're going to be taking a look at a new game. Now, you know I don't cover a lot of games on my channel, but when something new comes out, I'm right there. This game is from the wonderful game creator Graeme Cowie, aka McGeezer. Now, Graeme is well known in the Amiga community. He's recreated such fantastic games as Bomb Jack Beer Edition, which is an OCS ECS game, and Rygar from about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Now he takes these arcade games and uses the power of the Amiga to make almost arcade perfect ports, and then he adds a little bit of his own spin on the games to improve them even more. His last two games, Turbo Sprint that we're talking about today, and Rygar, are AGA only games, and I absolutely support that. One reason AGA games never really hit their full stride back in the 90s is because the game creators were creating them for the lowest common denominator, which were OCS ECS machines. That's something that we're still plagued with to this date, honestly. Well, Graeme is changing all that, and he is pushing for making AGA games, and again, I applaud him for that. First, a bit about the game though. Now, Turbo Sprint is a recreation of Super Sprint from Atari, released back in 1986. Now, Graeme did try to contact Atari to get permission to use the Super Sprint name, but they were so busy with the absolutely fantastically reviewed and great selling Atari VCS recreation. Oh, I think I just strained my eyes and my optic nerves rolling my eyes so hard with that. But they were so busy that he never got back in touch with Atari. Super Sprint was released on several platforms. Let's see, the Commodore 64, the Amstrad CPC, the Atari ST, and the ZX Spectrum, but the Amiga never got an official port of it until now. Now, the original arcade version supported 3 players and 1 drone car, and they had the steering wheels on it. You guys probably remember seeing it and playing it back in the day. Now, Graeme's version is improved because it supports 4 players simultaneously. We're talking 2 with joysticks and 2 on the keyboard, or you can get one of these still available parallel port to joystick adapters that add 2 more additional ports. It supports it just great for 4-player games. Mario Kart, eat your heart out. So in this game, you are racing a Formula One race car around a static track, a single screen track, and various obstacles such as tornadoes, bombs, oil slicks, water, they can hinder your race, they can slow you down, they make you spin out, as you have been seeing in some of the footage that I have going up there. But there's also some positive things like nitrous boosts, which are great, speed up your car. There's point blocks, you run over them, you get 100 or 150 points. And there are also wrenches, or spanners as they're called by our friends over in Europe, that you collect. And if you can collect 3 of them and then win a race or get second place, you can enhance your car and improve its traction, improve its speed, anything like that. Now, personally, Daniel, I don't feel I need to improve the traction or speed because of my immense skills in the game. Do you agree?
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't think he agrees. Now, the AI drones in this car are just nearly perfect. When you're playing against the computer, making turns, going around corners, avoiding obstacles, they're just absolutely perfect. I mean, do you agree that that they just barely make mistakes? But you'll find it a little bit difficult to control. Your car's faster than the drones, but it's, hard to control sometimes with the joystick. And if you're like me, you might occasionally find yourself hitting a wall. I don't know who's playing up in the corner up there, but not me hitting the wall left and right like that. So why did Graeme choose to make this an AGA only machine? You can tell from the graphics it would have worked as an OCS ECS game with slightly lower quality graphics, but it certainly would have, the Amiga would have been capable of it. Well, it would have come close, but AGA just had a couple of extra features that push it right over the edge. Now first, and this is fairly unique in the Amiga gaming community, this is actually played on a high resolution screen. This is a 512 by 384 screen. So it's actually running in interlaced mode. Now, ECS would have choked on that right away, trying to run a 16 color high resolution game, a racing game. It would have given up the ghost. Now my screen that you see up in the corner there is not showing any flicker because I've got one of the MK2 flicker fixers in there from individual computers. Now a lot of us out here are using the SCART cables, the RGB to SCART to HDMI to play these on modern monitors. That also virtually eliminates the flicker, so you may never see it. But if you play this on a traditional 1084, you're going to see some flicker on the screen. Now in Hi Res AGA mode, he's using dual playfield, and in this case he's using 16 or more colors in the background and 16 colors for the individual cars, which is actually cool. There ends up being like 32 to 48 colors on screen simultaneously in high res and still running this fast. Actually kind of cool. Now the gameplay that you've been watching up here is on my actual Amiga 1200. I happen to have a vampire in it, but it runs fine on an unexpanded A1200, although extra fast RAM is always welcome. Now the game also plays perfectly under emulation, so if all you have is an Amiga 500 or Amiga 600, you're not left out. Just get a copy of WinUAE or Amiga Forever, like I did a video on the other week, and you're able to play this absolutely fine in emulation. Works perfect. It does need 1,830 kilobytes of chip RAM to be played. So if you elect to play this from the workbench, you're going to find that you're going to run out of memory unless you're pretty careful with what you're doing. I recommend putting it on an ADF file, playing it on your Gotek, or like I'm doing, just making a floppy out of it and booting right from floppy. Then you don't have to worry about chip RAM and how much is consumed. He's also included a WHD load slave on here, so you can play it through WHD load, which is nice. And he has it so you can run it directly from hard drive too, which I've done plenty of times on my Amiga 1200. Works absolutely fine. But enough about my ramblings about AGA and bandwidth. You guys all came here to listen to Daniel's take on this game because, you know, he's been doing this since he was 4 or 5 years old playing games. And so Daniel, tell us what you think about this game played on a almost 30-year-old computer platform.
Overall, I think the game is a pretty good game. It's not as good as some of the other ones that I've tried, but I really like how you can do like multiplayer on it, like up to 4 players. I think that would be pretty fun. And I just like the graphics and the overall colors and the speed boosts and like the obstacles kind of in the racetrack a lot. And one thing that I don't like is the steering on the joystick. That's just kind of hard to do because it spins around so easily. But it's overall just a pretty fun game, except for the bots also. But yeah.
What do you think about the level of challenge when you play against your father? Do you feel like you're able to keep up with his immense gaming skills?
I feel like it's not really a challenge at all, and it's just kind of like just another bot there, except not a super good one though.
How do you feel about being grounded for the next year?
Pretty good. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and put this to the test and see just how good this young whippersnapper does against this 50-year-old game player. And also, get off my lawn! All right, let's see what you got here, son. I'm the blue car, and you're the yellow car. And I'm playing via joystick, and you're playing on the keyboard. And we'll see just who the superior person is.
Me.
Ready? And go. Whoop. Oh, look who's ahead, Daniel. I thought you said the joystick was harder to play with. What's going on here, buddy? Oh, hey, whoa. Back. I tell you, son. Back in the line. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You get some of the stuff when you hit them.
And you got your learner's permit too, right, son?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, go. No. Oh, you exploded. Here's my chance. Haha. Oh, I completely blew the chance by smacking into the walls 12 times. Final lap. How did you get so far ahead of me? You literally exploded.
You just let me go.
Wall.
It's almost too easy.
Yeah. Huh. First place and second place, not too shabby. Oh my gracious. Oh my gracious. I'm going to explode so many times trying to go over this darn ramp here. And look at these drone cars. They're just like, yeah, just another day at work. Ooh, I made it.
Wow.
And I hit an oil slick. And I hit another oil slick.
We're not gonna.
Yeah, I have a feeling maybe we won't place. Ooh, I got a wrench. Yeah. Oh, and I hit the green car, and then he made me crash over the darn jump. Yeah!
As long as I beat you.
I don't think that's gonna happen, son.
I'm trying ahead of you.
Oh, yeah, I guess you are. Like a lap ahead of me.
It's alright.
Fourth place. Yeah, thanks, son. I appreciate that. So number one, my joystick was defective. Number two, there was a glare on the screen. I know there was a glare on the screen. And I think I saw you entering a cheat code on there too, son. That's the only reason that he even got close to beating me. I'm sure of it. So, Turbo Sprint is available right now on Grant's itch.io page. I'll have a link down here at the bottom, and also you'll find that in the description. It's available as a digital download with ADF, an ISO file for playback on your CD32, and also WHD load and hard drive installable files. Now this is how games should be packaged, where you can just play them digitally, play them in real format, however you want to do it. It's awesome. The digital download is about 11 British pounds, which works out to like 16 bucks. In my opinion, that is a fantastic price. Graeme has worked hard for a year to get this game out. He's done a fantastic job. He deserves our support. And do what I did and throw him an extra couple bucks when you buy it on itch.io. Now, there's also a physical boxed version that's coming out. It should be out in 6 weeks to 8 weeks. You can pre-order it now, and of course you get the digital version. But the boxed version is going to have, full gorgeous box, which you'll see a picture of right up there, a disc, a manual, and really, here's what I hope. I hope Graeme goes out and picks up one of those $1 like Matchbox race cars from the store and puts a race car in each one. That would be cool if he did that, but I don't know if he's going to do that. Now remember, these are labors of love, okay? This is not some mass-produced Mass Effect game or anything like that. This is one guy buying these things 40, 50, 60, 70 at a time. So don't be too harsh with the prices, please. And that $43 British pounds, again about 60 bucks, includes international shipping anywhere in the world. So if you're in Antarctica, it's still going to cost you 60 bucks. Now how about negatives with the software? Because as you know from watching my channel, even things that are fantastic, I point out any flaws that I find. It's just the way I work. For starters, the game is hard. When you first start playing it, you're going to be frustrated with the joystick controls. But just spend a little time, get used to them. or try the keyboard controls. Daniel, you like the keyboard controls a little better, and I think I like the keyboard controls a little better too. They're just seem more responsive. Give it a shot, you'll get used to it. The unlimited continues are great in this case too, because you can just keep going and keep progressing forward in the race without having to throw quarters in the disk drive slot or anything. Now, you might also get annoyed with how perfect the drone cars are. As you were watching the footage earlier, you could see the drone cars making every turn just perfect, avoiding the obstacles just perfect, jumping the ramps just perfect. And here's, Daniel, not me, of course, because my driving's perfect. But as you saw with Daniel, crashing into the walls and banging here and banging there, you just want to choke the drone drivers out is what you want to do. Now, I did have a couple of lockups on the game, always in the same place. There were a total of 4 of them when I first started playing the game the other day, and then I had another one just today as we were doing the show. And what happens is, when you finish a race and you lose, it goes to save the high scores to the floppy or to the hard drive. And sometimes, again, this is 4 times in 3 hours of playing it happened to me. Sometimes it gets stuck on that please wait, saving high scores to disk, and it'll just sit there forever and never go past that, and I've got to reboot the machine. Now, I've been talking to Graeme about this online, and he seems to think, because I'm the only one complaining about it, it might have something to do with the fact that I'm running it with a Vampire in the Amiga 1200, which is fine. It's really hasn't been a big deal at all. Don't let it affect whether you purchase the game, because he is working on a patch for that. Now, I would like to thank my awesome patrons, who you can see now racing across the screen here. See what I did there, Daniel? Racing, get it? Yeah. Also, an apology to my patron and pal, Sigbjorn Holmvik, as somehow his name did not show up on last week's Patreon list. I've not forgotten you, my friend. If you want to join in and help the channel, pop on over to patreon.com/10mark, and for as little as $2 per month, you can make this prestigious list. Thanks for joining me today. And Daniel, thank you for joining me and giving me your opinions on the game. Yeah. And thanks for being easy on your old man, too. Please like and subscribe. And also like and subscribe to Graeme's YouTube channel. He posts there fairly frequently with progress on the works that he's working on at the time. But until next time, I'm Doug.
And Daniel.
From 10 Minute Amiga Retro Cast, signing out. Okay, we're recording. Huh?
I always remember that D was like the 4th letter, but I guess not. Alright.
A, B, C, D.
Wait. Oh, it's okay, never mind.
Oh, good lord. Oh. And we have this on video. This is actually recorded. Oh, I always thought D was the 4th letter.
Oh, it's the
A, 7, 3, D. Yeah, 4th letter.
Yeah.
It's my son. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.